grab your pencil and get your calculator ready along with your notes packet, because now that you have gotten so good at breaking apart composite shapes, now we're going to take it and apply it when we talk about surface area. All right. So in this first section, here's what our essential question is. So this is 9.4. How do I find the surface area of prisms, and I'll throw in there cubes, even though technically a cube is a type of prism. It happens to be a square prism. But we'll get there and we'll get all of this accomplished, okay? What is surface area? Well, we have to get the sum or the total of the areas of all the faces of a three-dimensional object. So now here is if you have trouble visualizing things, we just have to try to get you to see what something that's 3D looks like when you spread it out flat. So this is kind of like taking the cereal box and taking it apart and laying the box flat. So you can see all of the flaps and all of the different faces and parts of the box. So let's take a look at this first one. Okay, surface area of a three-dimensional figure is the sum of the areas of all of its faces or surfaces. You know how to use the net of a figure. All right, look here. This is called the net, and basically it's a two-dimensional representation of something 3D. It's just laid out flat on the table. So now we just have to make use of this and see if there's some sort of way we could come up with a formula even. All right. So you got this box. This is 20. This is 20. This is 20. And this is 20. Okay. I can color code this so I can do that. So that corresponds to here. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. All of those edges are 20 millimeters. All right, then let's go to the short side, the 8 millimeters. That's this one and this one, this one and this one. So shorty, shorty, that's 8. This is an 8. This is an 8. Okay, this one up here, that one down there. And in fact, if it helps at all, it gets a little cumbersome, but I can put 20s on all of these too. Okay, now let's take a look at what we have for this edge in front, which is 15. That one in the back would be 15. This is 15, that's 15. So let's get these labeled. 1, 2, 15. This one is 15. This one is 15. Okay. And then when we lay this up, this is just, we got 15s here and here as well. Okay. That's a 15 and a 15. All right. So really what we have here is a whole bunch of rectangles. And as long as you can keep track of them, then you can calculate all those areas and add them up. In this particular example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 different faces that make up this prism or this box. Now, you can kind of decide how you want to do it. If you like doing it on the net and you're just going to say, all right, so I'm just going to calculate all of this hoopla here and say this is 8 by 20, that's 160. And then this is 15 by 20, that's a 300. And this is a little 8 by 15, which is a 120. 8 by 20 is a 160. 8 by 15 is a 120. This guy back here is another 300. Okay? Or I frankly kind of like to just list out the different sides that are the same exact size. So like, for example, the top and the bottom are the same shape. So I kind of say T and B for top and bottom. Those dimensions were these ones here. Okay, this is the 8 by 15. So write 8 times 15. And then, because you have two of them, double it. Crank that out on your calculator right now, would you? That's what you should get. So that's the top and the bottom. Okay, so I got those. Then let's do the left side and the right side. Here's the left side, which happens to be 20 by 8. Okay, and there's another one over there that's 20 by 8. So take 20 by 8, and there's two of them. Last but not least, we have the front and the back. That's this guy right here, which happens to be 15 by 20. Okay, so that's these guys here. 15 by 20. And there's two of those. That gives me 600. Add these all together. 5, 6, 6. I get this, I believe. It's area, so we're just covering the outside, kind of like wrapping the package. Over here, if you took 160 plus 300 plus 160 plus 300 plus 120 plus 120, you get that answer. All right, so today you just have to be very patient and very methodical in how you do your computation. All right, let's look at this one. Aaron's making a jewelry box of wood. It's in the shape of a rectangular prism. So it's a rectangle and then it comes straight up. The jewelry box will have the dimensions shown. She plans to spray paint the exterior of the box, so that means all sides. How many square inches will she have to paint? Okay. Let's start talking about what we have here. For example, I see a top and a bottom that are the exact same size. So you want to do those first. Go like that. I go top and bottom, T and B. These are 12 by 15. 12 by 15. And there's two of them because you have a top and you have a bottom. Multiply those together. Put that underneath here. 30. I think it's 360. Plus. All right, so we did top and bottom. Let's do left side and right side. Left and right. Those are these ones, okay? These guys have dimensions of 15 by 6, okay? 15 by 6. Two of those. Crank that out. All right, the last ones to do are this front and the back, the way it's looking at me. Front and back. Front is 12 by the height of 6, 12 by 6. And there's two of those, front and back. Okay, I say right now, go ahead, add them all up and see what you come up with. Please make sure your label indicates that we are covering this in square units, okay? And your total, I believe, should be 684 square inches. Cool. All right, I'm going to tell you, you go ahead and try this box of spaghetti. I'm going to get going. Why don't you pause, see what you come up with, and then we'll tackle the challenging birdhouse, okay? Length of 9, width of 2, height of 1.5. Okay, so here are our combos. You have a front and a back. That's 9 by 1.5. And you have two of them. You have a left side and a right side. That's this part right here, and that is 2 by 1.5, and you've got 2 of those. Finally, you have the top and the bottom. That's up here, which is measuring 2 by 9. Go ahead and add them all together. These, I think I get 27. I think that looks pretty tiny at just 6. And this gives you 36, 42, 62 square inches on that one with your grand total. All right, last but not least. Now this is a little weird because it's not just a box. This is a prism with kind of this rooftop on there. So let's think about what we've got, okay? You have a front and a back, and they're saying find the surface area before the hole. I'm going to use this area too. Front and back. These dimensions, they're in the shape of a rectangle. This is an 18 right here. So it's 30 by 18. And you have 2 of them because you got the front that has the hole and the back. Let's talk about the left and right side. The left and right side are these 2 rectangles, and they measure 18 by 24 or 24 by 18, and you have 2 of those. Now, the bottom is this big rectangle that's 30 by 24. 30 by 24. But there's only one bottom, because see on the top, we built up this roof. So there's only one of these, no times 2. Let's talk about these roof rectangles on each side that look like this. This is 17, and this dimension here is 24. So I'm going to call this the roof. And we do have 2 of those, and it's 17 by 24 by 2. Then we've got this weird rectangular shape. That's the peak, and there's one in the front and one in the back. So here's what happens. This is a rectangle, so we have to do base height and then take half of it. This is 30, the base. The height is 8. We have to divide that by 2, because that's what a triangle is. But then we have a front and a back, so we have to multiply by 2. So really, these 2 are going to kind of wipe each other out. Oofta. Now we got a lot of adding to get to put together here. So you start multiplying, and away we go. I think this is 1080. Left and right. Let's see. 24 by 18 by 2, I think is 864. The bottom, there's only one of those. The 2 rectangular parts of the roof, 17 by 24 by 2. And last but not least, our rooftop, or I should say, I'm sorry, the peak, the triangular shape there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different numbers to total, and you should end up with this. Awesome. Check Schoology for your particular assignment. Write down all the different parts so that you can figure it out. And as always, good luck, and may the force be with you.